In this question, I think we first observe the pattern. So the figure number 1 is 3, figure number 2 is 7. So this one obviously increased by 4. Then the next one is 10, increased by 3. Then the next one increased by 4. Okay, and then for figure 5, obviously for figure 5, we should add 3 sticks on top, right? So therefore, I think we'll plus 3 again. So we actually have this alternate plus 4, plus 3, plus 4, plus 3. Anyway, the answers for part A should be 17. Okay, then the next thing we do now is we are trying to maybe try to create one more row. Okay, just to create one more row. So this is 6 that time. I think will be plus 4, right? This one will be 21, right? Then plus 4. Okay, so I think we can observe easily, right? So here, 2, then 7, 4, then 14, 6, and then 21, all right? So on the figure side, I think these are all the multiple of 2. On the stick side, these are all the multiple of 7, all right? And seems like tally, right? 2 times 1, 7 times 1, 2 times 2, 7 times 2, 2 times 3, then 7 times 3. So therefore now, right, for the part B now, right? For the part B now, I think we can answer now. For this one, for the part B, I think for the figure 28, 28 obviously is 2 times 14. And hence, therefore, for the answer, I think on the number of sticks will be 7 times 14, which is actually 98, right? And then for part C, for Chris, he has actually used up 2,327 sticks. Okay, so which figure number will it be? I think we can, based on the fact that, okay, so for every even number, right? Okay, actually corresponding to the multiple of 7. So I think we just divide first. So we ask this 2327 divided by 7. Okay, so we go and find out how many cycles are there. Okay, let's say we do manually. Let's say this question is paper 1 question. So 21, 2, 2, 21 again, 1, 7, and 2, then 14. Okay, this is not divisible. In fact, leaving behind a remainder 3 here. So what does it tell us? In fact, we should have 332 cycle of all these based on the figure number, they are all these even numbers. So we should have 332 times 2, right, in terms of the stick number. And then because there's a remainder of 3, that means we should have one more round of putting in the sticks, which is plus 1, plus 1. So therefore, 664 plus 1, answer for part C should now be 665. In this question, now we have the number of girls is 4 times of the number of boys. And then in terms of those girls that wear the spectacle, is actually 2/5 of the total number. This is total number of the children who wear the spectacle. All right, and then furthermore, 170 girls and 20 boys, they do not wear the spectacle, right? Question simply asks for on the girls side, what will be the total number, all right? I think we use a bar model now, so let's construct the bar model. So girls and boy. Okay, girl first, and this boy. Firstly, we know that girls is 4 times of the number of boys, right? So therefore, I think this one definitely draw longer. This one, only 1/4 of this, roughly like this. And for those actually not wearing spectacle, let's say, will be something like this. Let's say it's something like this. These are the ones that actually not wearing the spectacle. The figure, I think, for boys is 20. For the girls side is 170, right? And those remain behind, right? For the girls that wear spectacle is 2/5 of the total number. So I think we should have, if the girl take 2 units, then the boy should be 3 units, right? Total will be, for those that wear spectacle, wearing spectacle will be 5 units. So I think we can put this as, if this is 2U, then I think this is 3U. Okay, now bear in mind that overall between the girls and boy, right? Between the girls and boy, this is actually 4:1. So in other words, for this one, if we try to compare with the boys and girls, try to compare, right? I think for the boys, it's 20 plus 3u, right? Then when you transfer to girls side, I think we have to times 4, right? So therefore, this 20 times 4 will be 80. Then meanwhile, for 3u times 4 is 12u, right now? All right. So therefore, now these two add together, I think should be the same as these two add together, right? Like this. All right. So now let's create the equation and solve further. So we should now have 80 plus 2u is 170 plus 12u equals 170 plus 2u. Am I right? Okay. So therefore, I think we shift all the u on the left side, then the number on the right side. So the 2u go to the left become minus 2u, 80 go to the right will be minus 80. Am I right? So therefore, this is 10u, this is 90. Then both sides divided by 10. I think 1u is just 9 only. All right, 9 only. Okay, now after that, we look at what the question actually asking. Asking for total number of girls that in the club. So total number of girls obviously is 170 plus 2u. Okay, so we come to the end. So 170 plus 2u, the u is actually 9. So therefore 170 plus 18. Therefore answer 188. In this figure, ABCD is a parallelogram. And therefore, this angle is 50 degrees due to opposite angles of a parallelogram is actually equal. Secondly, this angle, we can use the exterior angle of triangle. So which means that this angle should be rather 101 degree minus 67 degree. And this will end up 34 degree. Hence, therefore, the final answers for the angle ABE should be 50 plus 34 degree, which is 84 degree. Answer is number 2. In this question, we have 3 people, Ace, Benz, and Charlie. Between Ace and Benz, the ratio of the number of marbles that they have is 4 to 5. Then the total numbers of marbles that Ace and Ben having is 3 times of the number of marbles that Charlie's is having. Now, given that the Ace and Charlie having altogether 350 marbles, the question is that how many more marbles does Ben have than Ace? Okay, so now we can do something like this. This is Ace, Ben. So 4 to 5. When the Charlies come, Ace and Ben's all together is 3 times of Charlie. So these two add together is 9. Then 3 times, that means this should be 3. Am I right? So they're in the ratio of 4 to 5 to 3. Okay, now what we know is that Ace and Charlie having 350 marbles. So Ace and Charlie, 4, 3 add together, let's say 7u. 7u corresponding to 350. So 1u is in fact is only 50, right? Okay. So now the question is that how many more marbles Ben is having more than the Ace? So Ben is 5u, Ace is 4u. So the difference is actually 1u. Therefore, exactly 50. In this question, Mr. An is having some apples. He sold 1/5 on Monday and then 80 apples on Tuesday. At the end, he left with 30%. So the question now is that how many apples did he have in the end? Okay, so I think we construct a bar. So he sold 1/5. 1/5, we change to a percentage that is 20%, am I right? This is on Monday. Then on Tuesday, 80 apples. So let's say, for example, is here. This is 80 apples. This is on Tuesday. Then he left behind 30%. Okay, all right. So I think obviously for Tuesday, it should be 100% minus 20% minus 30%. So this should be 50%. Am I right? Basically, the question is asking towards the end, how many apples left behind? Oh, all right. So I think you start off with on Tuesday, 50% corresponding to 80 apples. Now we are trying to calculate for 30%. So from 50%, maybe drop down to 10% first. So that means this one divided by 5. I think we should have 16. Then after that times 3, then become 30%. And therefore the answer is 48. Here we have ABCD that is made up of 3 identical rectangles. The perimeter for the ABC is 60 cm. Okay, so the question now is to find the length of the BC, which is this. Okay, so identical rectangles. So let's say the width is x cm. So in other words, this one is also x, this one is also x, right? Then making that the BC should now be 2x, all this also 2x. 2x, and this x, right? So if we talk about the parameter for this whole figure, add up all these together, I think we have 10x, am I right? We have 10x here. So 10x corresponding to 60 cm. Find the length for BC, which is 2 cm. So in other words, we can just directly find the 2x now. That means both sides divided by 5. And this will simply end up 12 cm. And therefore the answer is option number 2. Now we have Colleen. He actually earned the same amount of money for each month. In October, he spent $1,070 and saved the rest. When it comes to November, his saving actually dropped 30% as compared to October. So meanwhile, his saving increased by 60%. So how much money did Colin earn each month? Okay, so in the first place, we should have 2 bars, one for October, one for November. Bear in mind that the salary are actually the same for these 2 months. Let's assume that back to October, he's saving 1,070, maybe somewhere here. Okay, so this is 1,070. And this saving dropped by 30% in November. So let's say it's here, right? So this amount should be, from here to here should be 1,070 times 0.7, right? Because reduced by 30%. And this figure, press a bit of calculator. This one I think will end up 749. So in other words, for this portion, that is actually the 30%. I think we can use 1,070 minus 749, and this part will have 321. Okay, now this 321, as compared to October, this is actually the 60% increase. So in other words, we can actually find back this part by doing something like 60% corresponding to 321. So we are trying to get back the 100%. We can divide by 3 to drop to 20% first. Because 321 divided by 3, I think we can get integer, which is 107. Then after that, from there comes 5. Then we'll get 535, right? So this part, we fill up, is actually 535. Okay, and hence therefore, for the colleagues, right, the salary for each month simply, I think these two add together. This one and this one add together. So therefore, the final answer, when we add up these two figures together, I think we'll end up 1,605. In these figures, we have two triangles, ABC and AD. They are right angle isosceles triangles. Furthermore, BD and C both are 2 cm. Then the area for the shaded part is 18 cm square. Question simply asking for the length of AB. Okay, now this shaded part, in fact, we are able to chop this into 9 equal pieces of triangle. The way we do this is something like this. Okay, so you count carefully. This one we have 9 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And they are all identical. Okay, and each piece, basically because this is isosceles triangle, so hence therefore we will expect all these are also isosceles. Okay, and then each piece here, I think this is 2 cm. This one should be another 2 cm also. So one piece for the areas are simply half times 2 times 2. Therefore, it's actually 2 cm square. And in fact, exactly when you total up all these 9 pieces, we have 18 cm square, which actually match these figures here. All right. So ourselves is actually should be all right. So all these are 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Due to isosceles triangle, I think this one will be another one, which is xcm. 4 times 2 xcm. And this is in fact our final answer, xcm. We have Tim here selling some books on Saturday. Then on Sunday, he sold 1/4 of the remainder. Then after that, the number of books that being sold versus left behind is 8 to 5. Okay, question simply asking just between Saturday and Sunday, the number of books being sold, the corresponding ratio, right? Okay, so now I think we can draw a bar model that looks something like this. Okay, so let's say these are the ones that are being sold on Saturday. Then Sunday, actually taking out 1/4 of the remainder. So here we chop into 4 equal parts, and one of them is Sunday. So these are the ones that are actually being sold. And number of books that are being sold versus unsold. This one is being sold, this one unsold is actually 8 to 5, all right? Okay, now I think we have to come up with a suitable value for all these first. I think starting maybe we will try just using 1u, right? 1u here. 1u, actually the problem is that later this part is corresponding to 3u. Okay, then if 3u corresponding to 5, then later we try to deduce for 8 is how many u. I think this one will be in a bit of trouble, because I think we won't get whole number, right? Because 3u divided by 5 then times 8, we won't get the whole number. So we try to get whole number, right? And you want to get whole number, I think after a while, we may try a few rounds of this. Then I think the super one, I think should be using rather 5u. This is a good choice. The reason is because this part when you combine together, I think this will be, all these combined together, I think will give us 15u. Okay, 15u, 5 corresponding to 15u, then for 8, obviously will be 24u, am I right? 24u here. And therefore, 24u minus this 5u, exactly the unit for the Saturday, which is 19U, right? Okay, so we are ready to answer now. So the required answer, I think, between Saturday and Sunday, the ratio of the number of both being so obvious will be 19 to 5. 19 to 5. Okay, come, we have a piece of wire bent into a rectangle. The area is now 162 cm square. Length versus the breadth is 2 to 1, okay, twice. So question simply asking for the breadth of the rectangle, the width. Okay, so I think we will have a rectangle something like this. Okay, so length is 2 times of the breadth. Can we say up this is 8 cm, then this one should be 2x, right? So the area simply will be 2x times x and equals to 162, all right? Can you handle this? 2x times x, then 2x squared, am I right? X times x is so-called x squared. And I think both sides divide by 2 first. Okay, then this will end up 81. Now, I hope that you can recall some basic square number like, for example, 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16, that kind of thing. So when you come down to this, I hope that you can easily can tell me this is actually 9. 9 times 9 is actually 81, right? And isn't that x is actually the final answer? Of course, we got to put back the unit. So this is now the final answer, 9 cm. Okay, here we go. We have this 10. The dimension is 1.5 meter by 1.2 meter. This one, be careful, this is 60 cm. At first, it was half filled. And water going in for half an hour. Eventually, 3/5 being filled up. Question asking for the how many liters of water actually flow in per minute. Okay, I think at first we try to find the difference between these two fractions first. So 305 minus half. Okay, end up 1/10, right? Now, because this one, you can see the base is actually constant always. So 1/10, full 10 is 60 cm, right? So go by proportion, I think 1/10 corresponding to the depth of the water should be 6 cm, am I right? Okay, 6 cm. So we based on this one, we go and calculate actually within this 30 minutes, later change to 30 minutes, then what's the volume of the water, okay, in cm cube first. So 6 cm, then this one 120 cm, this one 150 cm, all multiplied together. Okay, so let's come down to here. So the volume will be 150 times 120 times 6, right? 6. Then we calculate this, press the calculator, 108,000 cm cube. This one is cm cube. Now bear in mind that this one is for 30 minutes. So per minute, I think will be this figure, then divided by 30, right? So this figure, if it happens to divide by 30, also can press calculator. This one will be 3600, 3600 cm cube, all right? But of course, the question asking for in liter instead of cm cube. So keep in mind, we have this thing which is 1 liter is 1000 cm cube. Keep in mind of this. Okay, so obviously this one just divided by 1000. So therefore the final answer I think will be 3.6 liter per minute. This one is per minute. Okay, per minute actually I think you don't have to write, just write 3.6 liter will do. Okay, here now we have a rectangular piece of paper. So let's unfold it. So when we unfold it, I think you will back to this. Back to this, right? So this one back to the right angle. Now all this, I think this one should be 71 degree, right? And this one should be 55 degree. Okay, and these two angles will be the same, and also these two angles will be the same, like this, correct? Okay, because these two triangles are identical, these two triangles are identical. So these are just the so-called corresponding angles. Those should be equal. Okay, so now I think we do some calculation. Isn't that this angle will be 19 degree, right? Because some of the angles of a triangle is 180. So minus all this, minus all this. 180 minus 90 minus 71. I think this will be 19. And therefore, this is also 19, right? And meanwhile, for this one, will be rather 180 minus 90 minus 55 degree. So therefore, this one should be 35 degree. Then this one will be another 35 degree, right? Okay, so now we are trying to work out this angle now. So we use adjacent angle on straight line, right? So at the end, the calculation I think will be simply 180 degree minus of 2 times of the 19 degree, I think it's 38 degree. 2 times of the 35 degree, I think it's 70 degree, right? So that will be the so-called the angle of the PQR. Okay, so finally this answer I think should be 72 degree, 72 degree. Okay, here we go. The table below shows the price for the admission ticket. So we have 3 types of ticket: child, adults, and senior citizen. This guy actually paid up to $4,705 for all the tickets. 2/3 of them are actually for children. Then the rest split among the adults and senior citizen in the ratio of 5:2. Question asking for how many children are there basically. Okay, so I think we form a bar that looks something like this. 2/3 are for children, then the rest for adults and senior citizens. So 2/3, isn't that this one in the ratio of 2:1, right? 2:1, 2/3. Then among here, they will also split further for the adults and senior citizen. Okay, so this is child, adults, and senior citizen. This one, the ratio will be rather 5:2. Okay, so in fact, this one will be 5 unit, 2 unit, then 7 unit, right? 7 unit, then this one back to here times 2 will be 14 unit, correct now. So I think we can now complete everything now like this, all right? So this one I think form the basic groups. So let's say this basic group we have 14 children, 5 adults, and 2 senior citizens. So we calculate for this basic group how much we need. So this one we have 14. For child, I think it's $43. Okay, so you check back the table. This one $43. Then for the adults first, it will be 5 times $55. Then followed by 2 senior citizens. This one only $32. Right? Okay, so this one press the calculator, calculate. I think this one will end up $941. So this one is for one basic group. So this guy altogether has to pay for this 4,705. So now we go and divide it by this 941. Then we know how many basic group are there. So this one expect to be integer. In fact, end up 5. So that means we should have 5 these groups. And each group by right inside should have 14 children, 5 adults, and 2 senior citizens. So they ask for children, right? So we are just one step away, which is 14 times 5 only, right? So therefore, we expect to have 70 children. Let's look at this figure. There's a square ABCD, and then the rectangle DEFG. Okay. This dimension have to take note. BC is 22 cm. G is the midpoint. This one actually is the midpoint of the AB. So the question eventually just found the area for the whole figures here. Okay. So I think there's one thing that you got to know is that for this piece, right? For this part, in fact, you will draw a line down here. In fact, these two will be the same, and these two will be the same. Okay, so got to take note of this. So therefore, if you actually set up, for example, you will set up this one as x cm square, that means these two together will actually be in the x cm square also. Okay, do take note of this. Okay, so then furthermore, I think we can draw a line here. Then isn't that this one, the diagonal of this rectangle will actually bisect into two equal half, okay, x and x. And because due to this is the midpoint, right? So therefore we expect if this is x and x, then the upstairs one, this one should be 2x, am I right? Okay. So I think first of all, we calculate for the x first, using the fact that because this whole thing is actually 22 cm, and then this one also 22 cm. So therefore, we can now first calculate altogether should be 4x, right, for the square. That will correspond to 22 times 22. 22 times 22, by the way, is 484. So this one is actually 484. So in other words, for 1x divided by 4, isn't that will be just 1 to 1? Okay, 1 to 1. And for the whole figure, I think it's 2x plus x plus x plus x, right? So altogether, we are looking for 5x. Okay, so we are just one step away, just times 5. Okay, 1 to 1 times 5, I think we'll end up 605. Then unit-wise is cm squared. Oh, the figure below, there's a big semicircle and then 4 identical quarter circle, right? So all these are actually supposed to be the same radius. So therefore, I think 80 divided by 4, each one will be 20. So we add in the dimension 20, all this also 20, right? 20, 20, and 20, right? Okay, then okay, we calculate the area followed by the perimeter. Pi, we use 3.14. So for the area, now area, there's one thing, I hope you can observe this. If you this part moved to here, this one moved to here. In fact, this one is an empty rectangle. So we can just simply use the whole piece of the semicircle, which is 3.14, right? Pi times the radius now, I think will be 40 now. Pi r square, 40 square, then divided by 2, because this is semicircle, minus of just like what I mentioned to you, the rectangle, which is 20 times 40, right? 20 times 40, right? So this one will end up 2512 minus 800, and hence therefore is 1712 cm square. Okay, this is the answer for part A. Okay, come to part B, the perimeter. Perimeter, I think this big piece. Okay, and then now these four, right? These four quarter circle, right? If you happens this R, right, you happen to combine them together, actually form back a full circle. Am I right? Then leaving behind only these two sides of the rectangle. All right. Okay. So let's settle this now. So we have 2 pi r, right? 2 pi r for the semicircle radius is 40, and semicircle over divided by 2, plus like what I mentioned to you, the 4 quarter circle combined together form back the full circle, which is 2 times 3.14, but radius is only 20 for this one. And then rectangle, right, for the two sides will be 2 times 20, like this, all right? Okay, so if you calculate one by one, this is 125.6. Then second one, another 125.6. Then the third one is 340. So final answer is 291.2 cm. Now we have two types of candy, chocolate and lollipops. They are sold at this 5 pieces for chocolate is $1.99. For lollipop, rather, it's 4 sticks is 99 cents. So this lady Judy spent altogether $101.34 on some chocolate and lollipops. Now she's going to actually pack these 3 pieces of chocolate and 2 sticks of lollipop in each bag, right? So so at first, actually, how many lollipops actually did Judy actually buy? Okay, now first of all, I think we have to form 2 columns, one for chocolate, one for lollipop. Now keep in mind that for chocolate, we have to buy 5 pieces every time, and then this one will be 4 pieces, okay, every time, 4 sticks, all right. Meanwhile, these two in the ratio of 3 to 2, 3 pieces, and then two sticks, 3 to 2. Okay, I think here we try to come up with a number such that this number and this number, this one divisible by 5, that's divisible by 4. All right. So I think first of all, maybe we will try, for example, I think between these two, right, basically we should be looking at 15 first. If this is 15, this one should be 10, right? Am I right? But unfortunately, these two, right, actually we cannot, the 10 is not a multiple of 4, so they are not divisible, right? So seems like this 15 to 10 is not suitable. After that, I think we should try rather 30 and 20. Yes or no? I think yes, right? Between these two, yes. Okay, divisible. Then between these two, also divisible, right? So therefore, we will base on this one as the forming the basic set. So let's calculate one by one. So for this one by right, we should be having 20, because each time we buy 4 sticks. Okay, then this one will times the 0.99. This one will give us $4.95. Then meanwhile for this is 30 divided by 5, then times 1.99, right? And this one will give us 11.94. So these two add together will end up 16.89, right? So for this basic set, right, having 30 chocolate and 20 sticks of lollipops, we have to she has to spend $16.89. Now altogether, she spent about this 101.34. Okay, so then we continue on top. So therefore, we should have 101.34 divided by this basic set is causing 16.89. Of course, this one expect to be integer. In fact, yes, we have good result is 6, right, 6. So we have 6 sets, okay? And each one will have 30 chocolates and 20 sticks of lollipop. So at the end of the day, asking for what? Asking for actually on the lollipops, how many sticks are there? So okay, one step away. So the basic set, suppose we have 20, now we have 6 set. So therefore 20 times 6, so the final answer is just simply 120. Okay, here we go. This guy actually bought 2 items for plants. This is how it charged, $15, right? $15 each. And then for the soil, each bag is, we don't know, we have to calculate, okay? But then these two are actually having equal number. Then the average price for these 2 items is this $12.50. Then this guy actually paid $45 less for the soil than the plants. So end of the day, just finding how much he need to spend for the plants itself, how much, all right? Okay, so average question is basically the 2 items, the price add together divided by 2. So you will just talk about the soil itself, right? I think the price should be the average, right? Times 2 first, then minus off the 15, right? Okay, so minus off the 15. So this one I think will be 25 minus 15. I think this will be $10. Okay, so between the plants and then the soil, the difference obviously is $5, right? Which is 15 minus 10. So this is $5. Okay, so this is just between one plant and one batch of the soil. And this guy eventually actually paid $45 less. So isn't that this $45 less between this soil and then the plant will be rather $45 divided by each difference is 5, right? So actually we have 9 set, correct? 9 set of this. So it also implies that though we have 9 bags or they ask for plants. So we have 9 pots of plants now. So end of the day, I think we are coming to the final step. So the plant is $15. Okay, final step lah, $15. Then we know that this guy actually was buying 9 of them. So the final answer for this is 135. Okay, here we go. We have 2 people, Alex and Benjamin. Alex at first has 4 times as many stickers as compared to Benjamin's. Then Alex going to give away 203 stickers. Then Benjamin at the same time also give away 26 stickers. Then end of the day, rather Benjamin will be having more stickers. Now Benjamin rather is 3 times as compared to Alex. All right. So the question is that at first then for them all together, no, sorry. In fact, it's asking for how many more stickers Alex having more than the Benjamin. Okay, like this. Okay. So obviously we need 2 bar. One is for Alex, one is for Benjamin. Then at first, Alex is 4 times of the Benjamin, so this is much longer. 4 times of it. So roughly like this. Then Alex is going to give away 203. Benjamin giving away only 26. Then rather at the end, Benjamin is 3 times of Alex. So maybe roughly like this. So this one will be 203. This one is 26. End of the day, this is 3 times of this. So can we set up this as x? This one rather will be 3x. Right? Then don't forget, initially this is 4 to 1. 4 to 1. Okay, all right. So that means for Benjamin, initially you will times 4, right? It should be the same as the Alex at first. So 3x plus 26 times 4, 12x, right? Then followed by 104. Okay, so this one suppose equals to x plus 203. So we can now form an equation, which is 12x plus 104 equals to x plus 203, right? Am I right? Okay, so 12x minus x, 11x. Meanwhile, 203 minus 104 will give us 99. Okay, so this one will give x equals to 9, x equals to 9. Okay, so I think we are ready to answer. Okay, let's see what the question asking. The question in fact asking at first the difference between Alex and Benjamin in terms of the number of stickers. Okay, so we can now do something like this at first, right? So for Alex one, we have x plus 203. So it will 9 plus 203, I think we have 212. Then meanwhile, for Benjamin at first is 3x plus 26. That means this is 27 plus 26. Then this will give us, I think, 53, right? Okay. So end of the day, just take the difference between these two. 212 minus 53. And then we'll end up 159. Okay, here we go. Now we have a number. When divided by 10, we will be actually having a remainder of 7. So the following actually which is the suitable number that we should add into this number so that eventually you will become a multiple of 5. Okay, all right. Okay, so I think we start off with if a number divided by 10, right? If let's say divisible by 10, I think this number, let's bring some values. I think isn't that will be 10, 20, 30, 40, and something like that, right? And if this one happens to have a remainder of 7, that means we should now add the 7, right? So all this will then add the 7. So they will just become 17, 27, 37, and 47, right? So on and so forth. Now, we want to add another number such that it will become a multiple of 5. Multiple of 5 basically must be a number that end with 5 or end with 0, correct now? So for the following, right, actually you can end with 5 or end with 0, but seems to be for all these numbers, actually you will try one by one. Okay, then this one, I think, let's say we use 17 as an example. This one will end up 22. This one will end up 19. This one will end up 20, and this one will end up 21. So we can just do the testing one by one. So seems to be, I think the answer looks like will be 3, right? So if let's say, okay, if you don't mind just settle with all this. So you said that this will be 20, and then 30, and then 40, and 50. Exactly. Right? Okay, so out of all these number, obviously the option 3 is the final answer. Okay, here we go. This Madam Wong actually selling these roses. She sold actually 200 stock of rose in the morning. Then after that, 2/5 of the remainder, take note, in the afternoon. Then she realized that actually still have half of the roses actually left behind. So question simply asking for in the afternoon actually how many of roses actually she sold. Okay, so now let's get started with this. So we draw a bar like this. So at first selling out 200. Okay, 200. After that, I think the remainder will just divide them into 5 equal parts rather. Then 2/5 of them actually being sold in the afternoon. So this one in the morning, then this one in the afternoon. Right. So then she realized that actually half left behind. So in fact, this one will divide these two into the equal part. Why not? Right? So let's assume that all these are xx x here. So isn't that this part is 200 plus 2x? This one is 3x, right? So they are equal now because this one's supposed to be 1-to-1 now. These two now supposed to be 1-to-1. Okay, so we can just form a simple equation. Then we have 200 plus 2x is 3x. So obviously after you shift, right? So obviously x is equals to 200. X is equal to 200. Question asking for in the afternoon, right? Afternoon is only 2x. So the answer comes 2x, then times 2, answer just 400.